second time telling stories on the carpet, first time for you guys and for me. I'm very excited. He might have done a storytelling course a few days ago, but I'm only going to talk about it if he's any good. If he's bad, we're going to pretend that he didn't take the course. So guys, first thing that he did learn at the storytelling course is he's not going to tell a word until you guys give another big round of beautiful Mezrab applause for Philip.
How are we doing in the safety zone? It's good? Just want to make sure you guys have the security you need. Okay. So, growing up in Ontario, Canada, I grew up in this quarry town. And if you don't know what a quarry is, it's like a place where people get stone from. So the place that I lived in, not stone, that's Amsterdam. This is where people get stone, as in the actual material used to make houses. Thank you for that pity laugh. So, because it's a stone town, it's a very also hilly kind of town. And it's a town that's kind of divided into two parts. The first part, you would call the high hill people. And this is where you would find your kind of middle-class dream homes. You know, like the typical North American suburb where the houses are kind of like stapled into place. And also mixed into these homes, you would have your older Edwardian homes, the homes that the British built for their wealthier class, like their lawyers and their doctors. And separating this, on the other side, was the low hill people. And the low hill people is where you would typically find your single-story bungalows with the aluminum sidings and the kind of smaller lawns. And if you go down the road a little bit more, well, then you would get to the trailer park. So when I was younger, I got a paper route. I didn't do this because I needed the money. I did it because I wanted to have a job, just like my dad. And it helped having a little bit extra spending cash when it went to going to the movies with my friends. So there I was, zigzagging between the homes, doing my best to be a proud, working Canadian. And I hear this little cry coming from behind me. And I look, and I see this little cat. And it's meowing at me. And I'm thinking, what does this cat want? I don't have any food. I don't have anything this cat would want. All I've got is my satchel of newspapers. So I figure I'm not going to do anything with it. It's just somebody's cat. I gotta do my job. So I continue walking, and I only get a few more steps before I realize this cat's following me. And when I stop to kind of address that situation, the cat starts to weave in between my legs. And it's rubbing its head against my leg. And it's giving me these big cat eyes. And guys, I'm only human. So I take a couple of seconds out of my busy paper route and I lean down and I just start petting it, just a little bit. And you know what? It starts to purr. But I did not do anything more because I had to finish my paper route. I was expected, I was a member of the community, I had to finish my job. So I kept on walking. But the cat kept following. And would you know that cat followed me all the way home? Or at least that was the story I told my mother. Because in actuality, let's say there was a ditch. Well, that sweet little cat, its little paws couldn't get over the ditch. So of course I picked it up and helped it cross the ditch. And then it was a really hot summer's day. And this sweet little cat had been in the sun for how long? So it was my duty as a humane person to put this cat into my newspaper bag to protect it from the sun. So when I got home, my mom kind of saw through this. She was like, "Phil, did you just steal a neighborhood cat?" And I was like, "Maybe, Mom, maybe." So my mom says, "All right, you can take care of the cat, but you have to start looking for its rightful owner." So I did what I was supposed to do. I printed off posters of found cat, and while I walked my paper route, I stapled them to every single telephone pole. But as the days kind of passed, I took my role of taking care of this cat pretty seriously. I made sure that it was fed. I gave it plenty of attention. I protected it from our dogs, who were super eager and super excited about this new guest in the home. And eventually the cat, started sleeping in my bed, and I could pet it as I fell asleep. And in the morning, I would be woken up to its soft little purr and its little kitty kisses. And I began to dread the day when that doorbell would finally ring and I would have to give up this cat. So the day eventually did come. And I remember coming downstairs and the door opening to this woman. She was a large woman, and she had manic and frizzy hair. And she was wearing this tank top, and she had visible streaks of sweat coming down her armpit and over her chest. And all she says, she doesn't say thank you. She doesn't acknowledge the fact that I've been taking care of this cat for her. She says, "That's my cat." Now, I'm holding this sweet little child. And there is no way that I'm going to give that cat up to this lady. She's got this mean scowl. She has half of a cigarette hanging out of her mouth. And she's waiting there like this. So the standoff begins. I know what my mom expects me to do. I know that she wants me to do the right thing. And so I look at her for support. But she's not looking at me. Instead, she's looking at the two little boys who are at each of the side of this larger woman. And truth be told, they didn't have shoes on. They didn't even have a shirt on. And they had visible dirt on their skin. And when I was looking at them, I could see that they were looking at the ground, that they were embarrassed. And I knew then that I had to do the right thing. So I walked up to the little boy, and I handed over my cat. Because I knew that I couldn't have happiness at the expense of somebody else's. Woo!